every volcano on Earth. 1,500 of them, awake all at once for 60 seconds. That's all it takes to remake a planet.
In 60 seconds, every volcano on Earth would speak at once. What's left of the world when the ground itself stops holding still?
There are roughly 1,500 active volcanoes on Earth. They usually take turns. If they all fired at once, even for 60 seconds, the sky itself would change color. In Naples, Vesuvius has been sleeping since 1944. In 60 seconds, that sleep ends. A surge of superheated air and ash, faster than a passenger jet, races down the mountainside toward 3 million people who never had time to leave. Every commercial flight on Earth is grounded within minutes. Ash column heights climb past 40,000 feet on every continent. Fighter squadrons scramble, not to fight, but to map the plume fields for the aircraft that survived. In Seattle, Mount Rainier fires an ash column that reaches 40,000 feet in 90 seconds. Downtown vanishes into grey twilight. Interstate 5 becomes the longest parking lot in North American history. And a city that lived in the shadow of a sleeping mountain for a century finally sees it wake up. In Iceland, the ground itself splits. Fissures a kilometre long open along the ridge above Reykjavik. Lava fountains climb 300 metres, and a city that has lived beside fire for 2,000 years finally learns what happens when fire stops being polite. By minute 59, the emergency response itself becomes the emergency. Military convoys move through ash-choked capitals in headlight beams that don't reach the end of the block. Every ambulance in Europe is already on the road. "60 seconds is nothing, a held breath, a traffic light cycle. But 60 seconds of every volcano at once would drop the global average temperature by 2 degrees for a decade. Enough to make you wonder how much of what we call permanent is really just borrowed time."
Now, this isn't a forecast. It's a thought experiment. But under every city you've ever loved, the ground is not as still as it feels. 60 seconds of every volcano at once is what happens when the planet remembers it's not finished making itself.
Up next on JD-OmniTale. This time,
What if a white hole, the opposite of a black hole, tore open right next to Earth?